Come on, this your list is very is very niche. It's very because so typically it's when we're doing this, it's one person's perspective of the top 10 songs of the year in Afrobeats.
Yes.
So I know when I told you that it's your top 10, I didn't mean your own favorite songs of the year. First of all, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, recommend, share this podcast, however you may be getting it. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and give us a like, leave a comment, and on Spotify as well. You know, you can also leave comments on Spotify and vote in some of the polls. We're going to be doing our top 10 song of the year in Afrobeats. So you can as well like vote in what you think your number one song should be. Don't worry, we're still coming up with top 10 songs of 2024. That's been a staple of this music review session.
That's good.
And I know you it must have taken you a long time to come up with that.
Right.
And that's why I passed the buck on that. I'm not even ashamed to say it. I make that somebody else's responsibility because I know how difficult it is. So I'll leave that to you. But like you said, there were a few other things that I wanted to touch on before we move to like the countdown portion of the episode. Other than Lona, do you have any other stars that's like, or the next stars, or who you consider like the next ones who, if they continue their current trajectory, like you think they would be in that portion?
Yeah, there's a few. I do. Um, Fola. Fola is a great artist. Um, Fola made Alone, and he had a remix with Benson. Then he dropped his tape, which I enjoyed. He had a song on there with Bella Shmurda. It's like, who does that? Um, that was a really beautiful song. Fola is one of those artists. TML Vibes. Now TML Vibes is a different level. It's just a different guy. It's just a different level. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just a different kind of artist, and it's one of those that you should really watch out for. Um, Ayo Maff, Ayo Maff had a great year too. It's one of those artists, like I said, like that brought new ideas to the game. One of the ones that they changed the landscape a little bit with the way they introduced themselves. He had a great year. Taves, I think Taves is one of those two. He had a he had a really nice album, a couple of really nice songs out there. Um, who else? Zeri, Zerrydl is like I think Charlie Poppy's brother.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, is one person that I really think that will take off at some point if they really get it together. Like is very talented, and I think Charlie Poppy should just stop messing about and put all his efforts on his brother, because that boy is really gifted, really gifted. Like he's a really good storyteller. He's a really good artist, and it's somebody I feel like would go for, go for, like, you know somebody that I really look to here in 2025 is Zerrydl. Um, BhadBoi OML. That is that's another person that you need to listen to. Muyeez. Muyeez is like a young artist. I think is under 18, if I'm correct.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's under 18 if I'm very correct. Yeah, I believe it's under 18, but I stand corrected. Um, Muyeez is really good. He had really nice songs. He had Fire. He had Aya. Like he had really great songs too. I really enjoyed Muyeez. Who else? Lemon Adisa. That, like, I'll say worthy mentions. Lemon Adisa. Um, July Drama. Uh, who else? I think, yeah, I don't want to say Portable because everybody knows Portable. Like,
Yeah,
I like
I think
Puzzle. He's just an interesting character, but not like because not like outstanding music. But I just think I just like I like what he did for himself, really. But 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 apart from those ones, I'm those are the people that really stood out for me this year. Like I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that I can't remember. Like I don't know. Those are the people that I can think of this year, and I say, you made some moves, some groundbreaking moves. Like I mentioned Fola already, right? Yeah, I did.
yeah, yeah, that was the first name.
And recently, I think I heard about it of a guy Monaky.
Hmm.
He was Monaky was pretty good too. I listened to his album, and that was pretty nice. Um, One person that I will always like, it's not a new artist, but I will always also like talk about it is Mayokun. I think Mayokun has some really underrated songs this year that I enjoyed like properly. Um, and another person is Otega. Um, there's a guy called Otega. He makes really beautiful music as well. I can't believe I almost forgot about him. Because he's on my top 10. But he makes really good music. But I think that's when it comes to new guys, really that is it for me.
Okay,
Mm.
all right. So we've gotten your rookie of the year, and we've gotten your next stars to look out for. So at this point, it just feels like a natural portion to get to our second award, which is the most improved. So this is the artist who made the biggest jump in artistry, impact, and potentially closing in on superstardom.
Mm.
So for you, which artist takes that award?
Man, this is hard. Um, Man, it's hard because superstardom, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of them are doing make believe, so it's very hard for me to say like one person is getting closer. But like I would like
So
to say
it's not necessarily like jumping into the top three, but becoming a household name is the way I would put it.
Thames.
No, but no, no. So this person that Taves is already a household name.
I think she made an even bigger jump. I
Yeah,
might.
but like it's like you're already up there. So I'm saying like the person who would then come into that level of like
Oh, somebody
yeah, like
that went that took okay. I see what you're saying. Well, I have to think about this one because a lot of artists kind of slowed down in 2024. Um, a lot of artists slowed down in 2024. So it's like, by the way, T.I Blaze also is somebody that you should listen to. I just remember he dropped an album called Shakol. That was a really great body of work too. But with regards to somebody that made that jump, the people that for me that made the jump were like people that were already in that space. Like there's a jump from not being known to now getting known. There's a jump from you're known to you're now like known outside of your region. And there's a jump from like there to like superstardom. Like so for me, I don't think a lot of people made that middle jump from I think a lot of people went from underground to overground. And a lot of people went from just being known to now being known a lot more outside the region. Like and that's why I said like who made that biggest jump for me is Thames because I just it was a it was a different kind of I heard not that I apart from the fact that the album is not for me, it was evident in the way that she was being presented. Like she was presenting herself, the shows, the things. Like I, it was screaming that jump, that superstar jump. Like so, that was the person that I could say. But like when it comes to the other kind of jump, I would. The only person is Llona because that would be the only person that I say that because it just went from not being that known to now doing shows that people are singing the song word for word. That's the only person that I would say, you know. So that would make 2 hours that he's getting, but still is that's the only person that I
So,
can think of.
I, so
Everybody
I,
else,
I have one. I have one, and of course, I'm going to be seen as a shill, mouthpiece, whatever. And for me, it's Odumodublvck. That's why I see
okay.
as because for me, it's between like because typically the first time we did this an episode like this, it was in October, right before Grammy nominations came out, and then moved it to November the following year, and now it's in December because there are a lot of things that can happen like in the later part of the year with songs that come out. And I would say for him, this year has been like a big jump because he ended up having like a solo tour almost out of like because of conditions, and it still popped off.
Mm,
And then that turned into uh, demand in Canada, and then
mm,
that popped off to other cities in Europe,
mm,
and then that popped off to festivals,
mm,
and that's like all within the same year.
mm,
And then it's like we were talking about this before we started recording. When it's like the number one singles,
mm,
like the artists who had the most number one singles in Afrobeats, according to whatever metric they have, according to their own version of Billboard. And it was Davido, Wizkid, Kiss Daniel, Charlie Poppy, Rema, then Odumodu, Chike, and Burna Boy.
mm,
And that's just for this 2024 portion of things. So
mm,
it just feels like to me like when you also factor in that his album came out late last year, and like it wouldn't factor into a lot of last year's stuff, but it was also like one of those albums that was always either at number one or close to number one. So for me at least, it went from oh that was cute, that was you had oh nice, you got this feature here, or that was a nice song there too. Uh, now you're legit. And
mm,
as we're recording this, they just finished up like the AWG Fest in Abuja, and it got to the point that they were complaining that the venue was too small
mm,
because of the amount of demand. So it's like to me at least, and obviously I have a bit of bias in that,
mm,
but I'm as someone that I like, not just because like emotionally invested in his success, but like the eyes, like it's what my eyes are seeing, is what my ears are hearing. It's
mm,
where like who he's getting on songs with, who he's featuring, like who he's
mm,
getting co-signs from.
mm,
It's it that's to me like that is one of those things where you get an understanding of when the art when you're getting the respect
mm.
or the appreciation of your local legends. To me, that says something.
All right.
It's not just oh who are you getting the co-signs from globally, the
Mm,
people that you have respect for and
mm,
your listeners have respect for
mm.
when they are co-signing you, and not just co-signing but like being on some of your projects. I think that to me also speaks to it. So yeah.
I think um, for me, most of what you said is very accurate. Um, but the only thing that the only reason why it didn't come on my radar was because I felt like he made that jump last year. Um, he made most of that jump last year, and I think what he did this year is a continuation of the jump that he made. I think let's talk about Odumodu real quick, right?
Sure,
I
go
think
for it.
I like Odumodu. I think, and I like Odumodu because he's one person that he has kept his stuff very authentic. Like, and when I say authentic, it's like it's it's original. Like when I say original, like I mean like people rap in Nigeria is some people say it's dead. Some people they every year they say it's dead. So it's just simply because there's um there's a market for it that people just go to every now and then just to kind of tap from and come back to the regular we're dancing Afrobeats, right? But Odumodu has done something where you are able to listen to him and still bop your head and dance. He has done something where he has brought melody, like authentic African melody, to the rap. Like I think Skepta said he called it his old woman voice or something like that. Like they're joking like, oh, like he likes when he sings, like, because I like the fact that he he brought melody to his rap, and his raps are also very Nigerian. Like he doesn't go like gun bars, like I hit you with this, I hit you with no, no, no. Like he said, like that guy with my pompey. Like, songs that on the street, people like they will be like, okay, like even if you're not, you don't have to be like somebody to know what Pompey is, to know what Garnot is, like, like just even if you don't know what they mean
The
in street
context is
like
there.
lingo, the content is just there. Like, what is this guy said? Why are you throwing granite at somebody? It's hilarious, it's fun, it's exciting, right? And I like that because you are representing us in the way that we should be represented. Like this is our own type of style. We don't have to be 50 Cent. We don't have to be Jaru or any of this. You can be Odumodu. And I like him for that, right? At the same time, I also like the fact that he does what he wants to do, as an artist. He flexes his freedom as an artist. He's not intimidated by Nigerians. Want you to be intimidated. They want you not to. They want you to say like, sit down there. He's not that kind of guy. He has this confidence that he oozes. Like he speaks his mind, and I also like the fact that he talks about God as well. Like he is. It tells me like it's kind of humble. He has this, it's down to earth, But at the same time, because I've heard a lot of good things about him, like people saying like Odmodu's a good guy, showed up for me here, showed up for me here. But I don't know the guy, right? I'm just speaking from what I've seen. Now, there's a few things that I feel like he, as an artist, um, should like pay attention to um, with his craft. I think with the music, I like the way he's carrying the anti-war gangsters, along. I like the fact that I listened to their recent tape, their recent album. I don't know if it's an album, it's an EP, and I really like the songs,
Nothing
right?
changed.
Yeah, and I really like the songs. Like he took a step back and let those guys shine. Like he did his thing, and then they came in and did their thing, and I like that a lot. But excuse me, I think with that being said, he needs to um like you said, he made that like you said, he made that jump, but I think he made that jump last year. I
Okay.
think to even make a bigger jump, I think he needs to now tap into that that sound. Like I remember when he made that album, right? And I heard that song with Black Sheriff, and I thought, Jesus Christ, this is a monster. Like
That's what auto seasoning, right?
auto seasoning. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is a monster. Like, this is different. Like, and I heard different songs on that album. And I'm thinking, okay, this is very special. Now, to go from that to your next one, I really think that he needs to tap into that melody that he has. I feel like I've heard a lot of snippets from him. And I'm like, where's this song, dude? And I never see those songs, but I don't know if he's ever gonna drop them. But I feel like rap is cool, right? Rap is nice, but like we said, what makes Gunna special for me is the melody, and that melody, Gunna is doing it in English. Is doing it in English is our first language, obviously, but is doing it in his way, in the way he knows as an American. The melody that Odumodu brings, I think he needs to bring more. Like I don't know if is I don't want to say is shy or is shying away from singing more because he's a hardcore rapper, but I think you need that. I think he needs to tap into that force a lot more. I really do believe that that is where the next breakthrough will be for him. Like when it comes, because people are now going from just listening to your songs to now looking for the kind of sound, the melody that comes with what you're saying. And Odumodu has different melodies. And for he really does have different melodies. Like he's not somebody that you hear and you're like, I think I heard this on your last song, or I think I heard this on your last song. It's somebody that the melodies are just there. Like, and for me, when you're going to that next level, you have to find a way where people can come to you for different things. Like we know you're a hardcore rapper, but I'm not coming to you just because you're a hardcore rapper. I'm coming to you because there's something that you give on songs that is just different. And what makes Odumodu different? It's not hardcore rap. It's that melody that he adds to the hardcore rap. Because the reason why I say it's not hardcore rap that makes him different is because there's a lot of people that do hardcore rap in Nigeria. Eriga does hardcore rap in Pidgin. You know what I mean? There are different sets of people that do that, right? And not to take the shine away from them and say, oh, Odumodu started this, or no. But who made it special? For me, is Odumodu. And what made it special is the melodies. The melodies that it brings, like how he just goes about doing it. Blood on the Dance Floor. Listen to that song, bro. It's different from Woto Woto Seasoning. Just picture the two songs in your head. It's different. It's a big difference. Like you hear Blood on the Dance Floor and you're dancing, right? Because you're listening to the song and you're dancing, then you're listening to the lyrics and you're like, wow, this is like this is some crazy stuff that this guy is saying, right? You get what I'm
yeah.
Is even the video is smiling, it's like it's tuned in, right? And then you listen to what Seasoning, it's like a different melody, but the rap is still there. What it's saying in Woto Seasoning and Blood on the Dance Floor, they're about the same. They're about the same. Like it's telling somebody that, listen, I'm gonna treat your fuck up. Excuse my French. That is what it's saying on Woto Seasoning. That's what it was saying on Blood on the Dance Floor. But he made it in such a way that you're like, is he playing? Is it serious? Is it playing? Like, so like it made it fun. It made it exciting, and we need more of that. We need more of that energy where because granted, you already have the confidence, you already have the talent, you already have mad potential. But I think for me, I want him to tap more into that source of like, give us more like the melodies for the rap, like give it to us, like, because I know it's not going to leave rap anytime soon, but give us the melodies for now. Let us hear, because if we're talking about Drake, right? Drake was singing, it was rapping at first, then started to sing, and now people were clowning him for it. Like, why is he singing? No, we don't like it. Take Care is a terrible album, and so years later, people are saying, "Oh, this is one of the best albums ever." So, I really think that Odumodu already has what it takes. He already has everything that it takes. I really do believe that, and for me, that melody is what is going to propel you to. It's not about how many bars you can spit or how good your bars are, or how people like. It's not about that. But if you are able to, but boy just doing yeah, like, and that was something. If I can see Odumodu doing that, and it's like literally, I could literally see Odumodu doing that. Maybe a couple of the anti-war gangsters. Like I saw it last night when I was even listening to that tape. So it's one of the ones that to do watch out for. I didn't put his name there because I think he made the jump last year, but I think he's also gonna do great in 2025. I'm looking forward to who's gonna work with. I think on his own songs, it sounds very great. On other people's songs, that's another thing that I would like for him to improve. Like on other people's songs, I would like for him to improve the quality of his features. comes to when he's on songs, I feel like it just, granted, when you're collaborating with people, you might not know, you might just get a beat and not know, like, maybe there's this concept of a song. But there's times where I feel like you could have done better with the lyrics of a song, um, when it comes to the concept of what we're talking about on the song. So maybe there might be a disconnect here and there, but like in his features, I would like to hear a lot more of the kind of aggression he puts in his own personal songs, because it's like his own personal songs, they are very hard. So on his features, I would like to hear more. But overall, great artist. Great artist for me.
All right, all right. And for the record, I did not bribe him to say any of those nice words about Odumodu because it seems like every year there's like a section on Odumodu, and they're like, oh, because he's family, I'm doing like, yes, of course, I'm not gonna have a music episode and not mention a family member. Like, come on.
Oh, it's a villain. Like, what is it? Like, is a villain to a lot of people. It's like, is like, and I think he's embraced being the bad guy. And that's another thing I was going to touch on, is like, um, a lot of people would say like, damn, I would think Odumodu was like a tough guy that I met him, and he's just a sweet guy. He's just very authentic. He's genuine stuff. I've heard that, but for me, I really think like when it comes to like the people that do this genuinely, like, it's not like they are doing it like, I want to be number one, like, I want to be on the screenshot, like I was number one here, this. It does this genuinely, and that's what I appreciate. I really appreciate people that do this authentically. Like, it doesn't care if they have motion or they don't have motion, they just still do this. And I think he's been doing this for a minute. The thing that I also appreciate, is the fact that he does not shy away from what people think about him. That does not bother him. Like, he's like, that's why I said like he's like a villain. He's embraced it, but at the same time, I want him to also like maybe showcase a little bit of his good side, like that. Because the other day I saw a video of him kicking some guy's phone with his Tims, and I was like, you know what, this is funny. I thought that was funny, but I was like, damn, that's messed up, because I don't know if he told the guy not to record him.
So there was an explanation. He told the guy 4 times to stop recording him.
Like, because I was like, nah, there's a disconnect there. Like, the way people talk about this guy, he would not just kick a random guy's fan's phone. So I was like, okay, maybe he told this guy not to record him. But like, that kind of villain, like, like being a villain, if you want to call it, like, it's 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 needed for it's needed for your career. If you it's needed. No, go ahead.
Nah, nah, I'm good because he also brought the guy on stage after that.
Oh yeah,
Which is so it's just I sometimes me too, I don't get it, but I mean, yeah.
no, but that's the part of the authenticity that you have to appreciate, that he is true to himself. Like, if I tell you 4 5 times like, please don't record me, and I still recording me. If I kick your phone, I kick your phone. But like you said, he still was able to feel like that's how you know a dope dude. Like, your conscience is like, ah, oh man, I keep that phone, man. That's how I say like it's authentic for me, and I like that. So I really think like he should keep going, keep doing what he's doing. He should keep doing what he's doing, keep the melody up, and give us more in 2025. Give us some nice collaborations as well. Work with different people, work with different artists. Like, let's hear different sides to Odumodu, and also like I feel like it can when it comes to music, and this is another thing that just came to mind. When it comes to music, he can make as much as he's like a hardcore rapper, he can also make like really chill music. Um,
Mhm.
and I heard a song Domitila. I don't know if you know that song. Is it
I do. I know
Domitila?
that. Yes, now with Mizzle.
Yes.
Mhm.
And the first time I heard that song, and I was like, damn, is this Odumodu? Because it was calm, it was soft, it was And I think that's another place that I would like for him to tap into. That little, as hardcore as you can be, but also look vulnerable on a track where you're just soft and you're just. I really think that he can pull those off as well. So, but big shout out to him. Looking forward to what he's able to do in 2025, and um,
Yeah,
hopefully
this
he can make that jump to like get the big awards, come back and show people that as an authentic artist you can do whatever from a really humble place, you know.
so the guy who produced that song Domitilla is the same one who produced Funds.
Ah, really?
Yeah, same guy.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's interesting to know. Because
yeah,
now I think Funds is, we're saying like it's one of those songs that is like topping the charts. It's like one of
yeah.
those.
So yeah, it was number one song in Nigeria. Biggest streaming debut, biggest streaming week of the year. I think I don't know if it's just of the year or in general, like for any Nigerian like Afrobeat song. So it surpassed MMS. That was the previous one. Yeah, and
That's,
then also had the number one on YouTube as well,
wow.
ahead of Piece of My Heart. So it's like
Wow.
knocking down with Wizkid, a bunch of Wizkid records. Yeah,
I'm sure their fan bases are having fun with those charts right now.
man, I, yeah. I mean, when you consider like it's part of what we're thinking about, like Grammys being a barometer now that we have these metrics in terms of like streaming numbers, radio numbers, Billboard. Like, I honestly I feel like it's more for the fan bases themselves or just for the artists because there are a bunch of artists who don't have number ones who sell out shows as well. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's at least that's the way I see it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was going to say like with in terms of what the fan bases are doing, you really can't control them. So whatever they're going to brag about, just you just allow it and keep it moving.
No, you can't. I'm sure that they're having fun with those number ones and who's overtaking who. But at the end of the day, good music is just good music. And having Odumodu on that song, it's different, and I think it's good for him. It's good for his own career as well to have a song where you are not just it's not just you, but you made a great contribution to that song. Like it's something like I said. I want to see more of his features, like delivering what Odumodu can deliver on features, like on because I've seen it before. Like we just talked about Domitilla right now. I think he has a song with YP. Like he had a feature with YP. I think
Bando Diaries.
Daniel Bango Diaries. Like he's had like some really nice features. So I want to see more of these features. Like but on like I'm talking like ones that like I don't want to say MTV worthy, but like not like things that we'll see like on our screens and be like, okay, because when it broke out with Ezioku, like when he brought that album, right? The videos that were coming from that album, I was blown away. I loved the videos so much. I enjoyed them, and it made me feel like this is a superstar. Like this guy is ready, and I want to see more of that in 2025. Like on your features, like on the people that you're working with, your collaborations, the things that you're doing. I know it's like working on anti-war gangsters and trying to bring them up right now, but at the same time, always remember that you're the breadwinner of that crew right now. And with that being said, you also have to cater to yourself as an artist. You have to, not that I'm saying forget your people, but you have to also make sure that you are nurturing your own talent as much as you're trying to bring them up. So, and I think features they would help. Features they help you break new ground. So I think he's already gained ground in Nigeria. I think he can gain more ground in Africa. I think he's already gained a lot of ground in Africa actually, but I think he can gain more, and I think he can gain more ground as well in the US. So I really want to see what 2025 will bring for us for him. You know.
Gotcha. All right, so we have one more award. So we have one more award and then our top 10. So do you want to do that final award, which is the MVP, the artist with the biggest, who had the biggest year, or you want to go through your top 10 songs first and then we end with the MVP?
Um. Well, the top 10 songs, we can go through them because I that one is still very hard for me. Like I was I don't really like I'm thinking about them, and and I'm not trying to offend anybody because like just like I would have said in no particular order, but like truly there's an order. Like
Yes, no,
um
it's a top 10 now. There has to be an order for a top 10. And we'll start from
yes,
10 and we'll go to 1.
all the way up, right. So
Yes.
for me, I would say like
So
number
are there
10.
any like honorable mentions or that couldn't make the top 10 and you're thinking about doing that? That you
Um
just give a shout out to these songs. Like they were good, but they weren't worthy of making the top 10 lists. Or do you want to just dive
well,
into the top?
yeah, there's a lot of songs that could have been on my top 10. Like the good songs from Ayo Maff's album, the good songs from the really nice songs from Llona's album, like people that I've mentioned before. Other songs, there's a song from Asake on my top 10, but like there are other songs on there that could have made it really. Rema, there's who else? I think Lil J had a nice song like Fireboy. There's some song that could have made my top 10, but I think for me, the top 10 is just based on the revolving songs that I listen to um, throughout the year. And that's what I based my top 10 off of, not just, is this a great song? Is this a better song, right? Um, so with, I would say like number 10, I'll give it to Wizkid, Kese. Um, I would say like that, it's because it just came out and I do like the song. I listened to it. I think that was a pretty dope song. Like, I don't know what it's gonna do because we are still in December. I'm sure people are jamming to it right now, the same way I'm jamming to it. So, I'll put it at number 10, just simply because there's not been a lot of time that has um that has passed for that song to drop. So I'll put it at number 10. Um, for number 9, man, man, this is trouble. Cause for number 9 though, I would say BhadBoi OML. Um, I'll say BhadBoi OML, and
What song?
BhadBoi OML. I think it was an album that he dropped in 2023, but I still have to carry it back over to this year because he dropped that in late 2023. And the reason why I'm carrying over to this year is because it's one of the songs that I listen to a lot this year. Um, and
No,
it's
tell me
on
what's the name of the song?
it's on his Bad Reunion album. It's called Enough. There are two songs on that album actually, Enough and Tom Ford. Um, I really enjoyed those two songs. So I would give Bad Boy OML, even though it made those songs late 2023, I'll still put it on my list. Um, for number 8, I would say T.I Blaze. He just dropped that Shako album as well, and I would Bima, T.I Blaze Bima. That would be my number 8 song. Um, number 7. Oh, this is tough, man. And by the way, all the songs are just Afrobeat songs. Like I listen to a lot of Amapiano. I would have put them in there, but like they would take over this list. But but number 7, um, Minz. Um, Minz. I don't know if you know Minz. Minz. Um, he dropped an album this year by any means, and on that album, I liked Shadow. Shadow would be um, Shadow would be my number 7. Um,
Hmm.
number 6 would be Otega. Um, Otega Don Julio. That would be my number 6 song because I really like that song. I played it a lot this year. Um, number 5, I'll say TML Vibez. Um, Man, TML Vibez had a number of songs this year actually, but um, I would say TML Vibez number 5, and I would put that at Alhamdulillah from TML Vibez.
Okay.
Uh, number 4, Fola, and number 4 with Alone. Um, Fola at number 4 with Alone. Um, number 3, man, who else is in there? Because I know who my number 1 is, but number 3, um, Rema. Rema is number 3 for me, and there was Yayo. Rema is number 3 for me with Yayo.
Mhm.
Number 2 is Llona, and easily Llona could have easily taken 2 of this. Like, um, I like Lona's I like Lona's comforter, but I would give it to another day. Lona's another day is my second, and my number 1 is Asake's mentally.
All right. Hmm. Come on. This your list is very it's very niche. It's very because so typically it's when we're doing this, it's one person's perspective of the top 10 songs of the year in Afrobeats.
Yes.
So I know when I told you that it's your top 10, I didn't mean your own favorite songs of the year.
Oh, like when I said like my own top 10, like remember I said something, right? The people that I
Mhm,
expected the hits from, the songs from,
mhm. So
we didn't get.
so
And
you so this was better than these 10. You felt like if you asked the average Afrobeat listener,
yes,
you would find a lot of agreement on this list.
yes, if they listen to this, if they're Afrobeat listeners, like they listen to these albums, you will be inclined to agree with me that these songs are worthy of being on that top 10. And I say that because these are Ashake's mentally is a different kind of song. Um Lona's um Another Day is a different song. Rema's Yayo is not is these are songs that they are different styles. Like these are not my piano infused like songs. These are songs that for me, if they dictated a different shift in the Afrobeat space. And one person that should have been on my top 10 really is Ayo Maff.
Mhm.
And and it's an omission, but Ayo Maff should definitely be on that top 10 because he had a really nice album, and he also had a song on his album that I'm trying to is it 8 days, and Are You There is definitely Are You There is in my top 10. I have to take somebody out of that top 10, put Are You There. Are You There, Ayo Maff. And Are You There, Ayo Maff would definitely be top 5
Oh
for
wow.
yes. And that's because that's somebody that Are You There, Ayo Maff is top 5 for me. Um that is if it's between that and Dealer. Ayo Maff Dealer and Ayo Maff Are You There. One of
Mm.
those songs would be top 5 for me. But it's very hard for me to really rate people, like, because there's a lot of songs that I listen to. But I would say like I would bounce Kese out of my top 10 and
Wow.
let it drop further because now we have 11. So Kese will drop to 11, and um, Ayo Maff will definitely be in the top 5 with Dila or Are You There. So these are not just my favorite songs. These are songs that I feel like they communicated what Afrobeat should be like. And if you go to check Spotify, um, or Spotify data or just Apple Music data, or you would see the songs in there. Top 100 for Nigeria, you find the songs in there. On Spotify, the number of streams that these songs have done, it's evident that people are listening to the songs. So if you go on every single one of their artist pages on streaming platforms, you would find that these songs are there. They might not be songs that people know because this some of these artists are still underground, but these songs were songs in the Afrobeat space that I found that people listen to a lot. So Don Julio was a song that I heard a lot. I heard it in South Africa, I heard it in Nigeria, I heard it here in the US. So it's not like I said, it's not just my favorite songs. These are songs that I felt like they dictated what the Afrobeat space should be like for us this particular year. They were not made to cater to anything. They were just made with artistry in mind. Like let's make good music. So, and that's what I think it should be about. And that's why I said the people that I expected it from, they didn't make that top 10 at all. Like I expected a lot from the top dogs, but I didn't get that. So that's why none of them are in my top 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say no Davido, no Burna, no Ruga, no Benson,
No,
no Zlatan, no Olamide.
no,
Okay.
no. None of those guys did anything that was exceptional. No disrespect to them, but the names that I mentioned in my top 10, I think they outdid every single person that you just mentioned. I think, like for example, Benson had a good year, but I think Fikonwe Kon with Rema was not. It was great, but it was not his best. They could have that collaboration could have delivered something else better than what they came out with. I think I liked Rema's verse a lot more as well. So
Mhm.
I think, like I said, we have to go back to the basics, the organic way of doing things, not because like, oh, you're hot, I'm hot, let's make a song together so we can be super hot. No, but the collaborations that work, the sound that work, the communication through music that works, that people see, they can hear without any shadow of doubt that this is great music. And if you listen to those top 10 songs that I just put out there, I think you would agree with me. Um,
So no, so from Davido, no Awuke or even Funds. That's the current number one song.
I
I
would
mean,
put I would care I didn't listen a lot to, and
mhm.
I'll be honest, I didn't listen a lot to it because like I I didn't like the hook as much. I think I liked the way the song started, but the hook didn't really hook me. I think the hook could have been a lot better. That's the only reason why it was not on my top 10. The impact is there from what you see, the streaming numbers, all of that stuff is there, but as a top 10 song in the Afrobeats, I don't think so. Um, not yet anyway, not for me. Um, funds funds would is a worthy mention, and it would have been there, but like it's just like Kese is new, in my opinion. It's still new, and let's see. But I'm still warming up to it as well. I like the song, but I'm still warming. Like it's not something I've played over and over and over and over. Like I've played Don Julio, or like I've played TML Vibes. Like I've played these guys over. Like I play them every single day. So, and I would assume that when I see the numbers on those streaming things to like platforms, it means that a lot of people like me are also listening to that over and over. So, with that being said, I just think that these guys are the guys that communicated what proper Afrobeat music should be like. Like I said, I was expecting to hear from Omale this year. I'm
Mhm.
disappointed that I didn't hear from him, um, because Boy Alone was a monster album. But hopefully we'll hear from him in 2025. But the people that I expected to hear from again, I didn't hear from. So
Okay. All right. And now our final award. Well, before we even get to the final award, I've been thinking about this, and I guess maybe for the last 2 years, we haven't necessarily had like a December anthem where like it's a song that just sort of like becomes the theme. Like you remember where you were when you heard it.
Mm.
Mad Over You was like, I think either 2016 or 2017 was one of those songs that you associate with that time period where you just know that like things were good. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like so we haven't really had a song that sort of like every lounge you go into, probably like, and I say December anthem, meaning like people on ground in Nigeria. So
Mm.
like not necessarily here, like a song that just sort of everywhere you go, you're hearing that song
Mm.
specifically. So
Mm.
do you think, and it might be for funds, it might be some other song, but do you think there is one song like, because obviously you're not, it's not going to be like any sort of, I don't want to say like mopey or introspective or even like emo type song is going to be your Dirty December song or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
like what do you think it is going to be for this year? Or do you think we even have one?
Mm. Do we have one for this year? I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there is no clear hit this year. Like, Mad Over You, I remember that time everywhere. If for everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, like Burna Boy's Yay, you know, everywhere. But we didn't have one this year that we know like this song is just everywhere. And it's very difficult because like I'm thinking right now, like, is there some song or somebody that I'm not thinking of? But like I just I just didn't hear anyone that was repeating themselves. So like repetitive, you know, I just didn't hear anybody over and over. Like I go like there was a time when, like I said, CK was everywhere with Love Wanted Thing. It was on, it was your all your social media, it was in your Uber when you were riding, it was on your radio when you turn it on, it was everywhere. I don't think we had one like that this year. So I sincerely I don't think so. Um I'm thinking hard, but I cannot think of one person. Mm.
For me it will be funds, because it's a song that is imploring people to spend money irresponsibly.
Yeah.
So I can't think of anything that goes along with this December better than that.
Yeah, their funds really.
Yeah.
That's true though. Like that's true because the issue is they these songs they took time to come out. Like, and now it's more of like people are just getting there. Like the song that I would have said would have been the one to do this would have been Ashake's Fuji vibe. That would have
But
been,
so early though.
yeah, but it was too early.
Yeah,
That
it's so
would
early.
have been, it was too early. But at the same time, some of them, the ones that were supposed to give us that vibe, they dropped late. So I um I think really funds would probably be the one. It's funds and Kese that like the ones that people are like, you know, channeling right now. So it's for the Detty December, I would probably say like it's between one of those two. The song that I am looking forward to though is Rema's song that he, the one where he samples Sade. That's the one that it's not a Detty December song, right? But that's one song that I'm I'm looking forward to saying like this song will be like an impactful song. Um, but outside that, I would agree with you that funds might be that one because you have your IJGBs in Nigeria, you have everybody in there just you know just just living it up. So yeah,
Okay. And the Rema one, is that something that's supposed to come out soon, or when is that?
to be honest, I don't know. I just heard the snippet and it's been out there for like a minute now, but the guy is refusing to drop the song. And I think I heard him perform it in one of his shows recently.
Oh,
So yeah, it's a Sade sample and it's really nice one. People are singing that song word for word and it's not even out yet. So
wow.
I can tell you that that song is going to be a monster because I am looking forward to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now our final award of the episode, our MVP.
Mm.
And this is the artist who had the biggest year in terms of charts, streaming, cultural impact, reputation, and star power. So, who is your MVP for 2024?
Llona.
Really?
Yes. Llona is my MVP for 2024. Like
Wow.
is that is the MVP for 2024. Um is literally the one guy that is the one shining light that really, really made me feel like, okay, maybe there's still a chance for Afrobeats. Like, because at some point I lost hope. Like, there was no songs coming out. There was a shortage of really nice songs earlier in the year. Then later on, people started to, some of these guys started to put songs out, and I was like, okay, maybe there's hope. But Lona was the standout person for me. The person that when it comes to streams, when it comes, this is an, you have to keep in mind that this is an underground artist with no, I don't think he has any, it's like an independent artist, really, with meaning like there's very less infrastructure. And to now come out and be doing this amount of numbers, like if we, maybe you can take a look on your side and see his Spotify numbers.
Yeah,
Um,
that's one of the things I want to pull up. Like, he has less than a million monthly listeners,
right,
and,
but for his
so because
song,
that's why I made sure that no, yeah. So his top song has let's see, 8.3 million streams.
that's impressive for somebody that you knew this year, right? And you have to look at it like for somebody like that who does not have the backbone that a lot of these artists have. Like think about all these artists that we've mentioned. A lot of them are signed to somebody. A lot of them are managed by somebody. They are distributed by somebody. But this guy is one person that is just an independent artist breaking into a very saturated market and having dropping one album, one single album that took over like that. Not just one song, not just two songs, not three songs, not four. There's like a group of great songs in there. It's authentic, it's raw, and you can feel it. When it comes to impact, like the way I judge impact is not just by streams, because streams is something else, but it's how the fans react to your music. And I saw this guy on stage. For you as a underground artist to be able to have people singing your song word for word, your first very album, word for word as an underground artist, that is commendable. There's only a few people that you can name that has ever done that. Only
You
a
think?
few. Yeah, only a few that they are not superstars that on stage. I'm talking about like when they started, they were hot and people were just they just went off like that. Wizkid superstar.
Hmm.
Only a few people like they dropped their debut album and they went out there and they started just going crazy and people were like, okay, you know what? This is real stuff. This guy is not a joke. Is not somebody that like there are people that are good, great artists, but I really do rate this guy a lot. Like he would be literally my MVP of the year. Like the one person that I felt like it was the shining light that can tell us like because his music is not it's not like I'm a piano, we are dancing. It's not the one that Nigerians are used to. But for it to be accepted on that level as mainstream music, it tells you the impact of that particular project.
So I guess that's where we would differ then, because I I wouldn't necessarily call it mainstream because I literally have never heard any of his songs.
Yeah, the songs
So
are
so
not
that
mainstream
yeah,
at all.
yeah. So that's why I'm saying like it's hard to call like an underground like I mean it's like, after all it is your like this is your MVP.
All the
So that,
songs on this album have
mhm.
not one is short of a million streams. For a song for an album that you dropped this year, every song on that album is million streams. Every single song on that Spotify album isn't that like that I can see on Spotify is over like You have 8 million, 7 million, something that you dropped this year. It's what I'm saying is, for you to not be a mainstream artist, and your music is not the generally mainstream music that is accepted, the dance, the amapiano, the good life type song. Like, the only other person that makes music that I can put in that category is Omale. That's the
Mhm.
only other person that I can put in that category of the kind of music that Llona is making, is Omale. For you to now make that kind of music that is not mainstream, and you're not a mainstream artist, and you are able to make this amount of impact in a year, to the point where people are singing your songs, not one song, you're not one hit wonder, not two songs, people are singing your songs word for word at a stage. It is not something that we should underrate at all. Like, it's like I said, there's only a few people that can say they've done this before. Like, you can have one song and go on tour. There's a lot of people that have done that. But I'm saying, like, you dropped an album as an unknown artist, and it's not a mainstream album. And Nigerians, we have a really, really high standard when it comes to taste in music. We are not people that you can just pull some over our eyes and say, oh, this is nice, swallow it. No, we don't do that. For them to do that for that guy, it tells me like it's special. And like I said, the numbers that I saw on his stream, it told me that I like to believe that those are organic numbers. And if in a year you can do this amount, like, this is over 30 million streams for this album. Over 30 million streams. Like, that is not a joke.
Mhm.
We are talking about, like, you have top artists buying views on YouTube just so that they can. This is like, it's your top artists are trying to keep up. They're trying to show that they're still there. This guy is dropping an album that is, this stream that I'm seeing on Spotify is well over 30, 40 million for a breakout artist, a mainstream artist that nobody knew about last year. Nah, I'm sorry. That deserves MVP. That's MVP status for me.
So he's your rookie of the year and your MVP.
Yes, he is my
So
rookie of the year, because I never heard of him before last year. I heard of him this year, and there are other people that could have been also my rookie of the year. Like, I could have given it to Ayo Maff. I could have given it to Taves. I could have also given it to TML Vibe. TML Vibe comes really close in my rookie of the year. It would have been the second person to give it to, but I think, honestly, Llona had a better year than all of those guys. And he's my rookie of the year, and he's also my MVP of the year.
so you thought he fit the MVP criteria better than the likes of Rema and Thames and all those others.
Yes, I really do, because, like, with Rema, with Thames, I already said, like, the album, it wasn't my stuff, but I still see what he was doing out there, and because it wasn't my stuff, I can't really say, like, because I enjoyed Lona's better than hers, I'll put Lona above it. With Rema, I enjoyed Rema's album. I really did. It's one of That's why it's in my top 10 as well. I enjoyed the album, but I felt like it was just the same way it's because it's one of those albums that I feel like will live up to their name later, just like Ashake's Lungu Boy. But I felt like Rema is an artist that I respect a lot. Like, he already has my respect. He already has my respect as an innovator, as somebody that break grounds. They break new ground. They don't just follow. He's an innovator of the sound. I already have a deep level of respect for him. As a matter of fact, I really think Rema is in your top three, big three right now. Like, is like, there's a new big three in my own opinion.
Okay, so let's hear it. So let's hear it. So who's your big three? Who is
No,
your big three?
I'll get there. The
Okay.
thing is, for me, he is in one of those, is in that conversation, and that's why I didn't, when I say MVP, um is somebody that is been my MVP for like a couple times. So, like, just because of the innovative sound, like, it was my rookie of the year and my MVP when he made that song. Geez, that's Do Maybe, right? It was my rookie of the year that year. Like, that, it really was. And like I said, he's he's just an MVP on his own. Like I already respect him. But when I'm talking like this particular year,
Okay.
like when I'm talking like, because Rema's album is good, but Lona's album to me is better.
Okay.
And as much as I enjoyed Rema's album because it's a new sound, I really, really enjoyed Lona's album a lot better. And doesn't make one guy better than the other. I just feel like for that MVP status, for the kind of impact that I saw on Lona's album, I would definitely give that to him.
Okay. All right.
And when we talk about big three, for me, I think the current big three are shifting into OG status. And like they have their fans. The fans usually have a lot to say when it comes to these conversations, like who's one, who's two, who's three, um, and that will never change, right?
So
But
big three that you said is shifting into OG status. Who is that big three just for?
well, the big three is like in no particular order: Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy.
Okay.
Um, um, Before it used to be Wizkid, Davido, Olamide, and Olamide shifted into the OG status and started birthing the likes of Asake, Burna Boy, Asake, sorry, Fireboy, and the rest of them, right? Um, but now Burna Boy managed to put himself in that conversation as that big three. Now, I think that big three now they're shifting into OG status, um,
Mhm.
just simply because a lot of the music that I'm hearing them make, um, it's 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 not as much as I want to say it's fun and all of that. It is nothing new.
Okay.
It's nothing different. Like it's like we I can tell you like I've heard that before, but I've seen that before. I've seen you make that move before. I've seen you do this kind of song before. It's not new, but we still love it. It's just like jollof rice. We're still gonna eat it anyway, because it's,
Of course.
it's still right. But the thing for me is when it comes to that big three, they are now shifting into that OG status of like now, um, I guess birthing other not just other sounds, but maybe other artists that they are giving a little bit of time to opportunity to also get out there. Whether they like it or not, I think the OG status is catching up to them, whether they want to stop making music or they continue making music. I really think that the new generation is really running up on them. Um, they're like really running up fast. And when I say like there's a new big three for me, I would put Asake in there, I'll put Rema in there, and I'll put Thames in there as well. Um,
Okay.
I would say like in no particular order. I would say like those are the big three. Worthy big three would be Omale, um, but I didn't hear anything from him this year, so But those would be the ones that I would say like they're now our big three when we look at people that we respect, that we can think of to um give us something that we can dance to or we can enjoy to. Those are the go-to people. Um so that would be my big three right now. Respect to the ones before them. I think they are going into their status where they now start mentoring people. Like they're going into OG status. Like Two Face is an OG now. Timaya, and the rest of them, those guys are OG now. They're still making music.
Right.
But the young generations, that is like the Wizkids and co, they took it from them and they ran with it. Now you have other people that are taking it from the Wizkids, the Davido. So for me, the big three are Shakir, um, Thames, Rema, in no particular order. And like I said, there are some people that are coming up closely behind them. Um, Ira Star, um, Omale is there as well because, like I said, I didn't hear anything from him this year. Um, I think if I think Odumodu can also make it if he actually works, like if he puts a lot of effort into those features. Like I really like if we're seeing a lot of him outside the its comfort zone. Like what I mean by comfort zone is like the regular collaborations that he has. Like it's now it's on a different. I really see that for him as well, because it's for you to be a big three, you have to have the personality for it, and I think Odumodu has the personality for a superstar. So, but those would be my big three, my worthy mentions that I would say um, should be in those conversations. And I know some people will say like, oh, maybe this person or that person, but all of these guys are growing. I think most of them they have really great potential. But right now, the people that I think that are taking that potential a little further, that are pushing it, are those ones that I just mentioned.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you giving me all this time to pick your brain on all these topics and getting so many music recommendations. Like I feel like I have a lot of homework to do myself.
No,
So because yeah, I mean you've given a lot of artists like, and that's why like I wanted you on the show because of the depth of your expertise, the understand like your playlist is like on Spotify. How many songs is it now? It's like over 1,000 now. Oh,
no, it's just like 600. I try to cut it
you
like
cut it. Oh, you cut
yeah,
it
I
there.
try to, because I try to do it for like a year, and then after the year, I just chop it and then go back again. So like it's a whole year catalog. It's like 600 songs there, but I just put it on shuffle really. Sometimes I just play from the top. Different vibes, really, that I'm craving, if I want to say so. I know where it is. I just hit play. So but yeah, it's a lot of songs. It's a lot of artists, and that's what I do it for, to so people can get to hear other artists, not just your top five guys, the top popular guys, but people that deserve to be heard as well.
All right, and yeah, we'll put a link to those the playlists, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music. It will be
Mm.
in the description of this episode. And yeah, Ice, I really want to thank you for being on with us. It was illuminating, at least for myself, and I'm sure the audience thinks so as well. Do you want
Yeah.
to give your socials to see where people can follow you, find you, keep up with your opinions on music, or are you satisfied with just giving them the playlist and let them digest that?
Yeah, I think you just listen to the playlist. The link, it will be in this episode. You can check it out. It's called Ice Season on Spotify, Apple Music, and I'm on socials. Sometimes I'm not. So, Aisthegreat, if you find me, and other times I'm not really there. So, but what is important for me is the music, really. To stay plugged in, I want to encourage people that are out there to give Afrobeats a chance. A lot of people speak on Afrobeats and they call it different names, and I know sometimes it might be an acquired taste or something that you just heard or just gotten used to. But I think music is a universal language, and don't close your mind off to good music. There's a lot of great artists to listen to out there. um, Granted, everything might not be for you, but give Afrobeats a chance. There's a lot of talented artists that deserve listening time that you can give to, that they can benefit from your time as well. Listen to them. So I want to encourage people to listen to Afrobeats. I also want to give a big shout out to all the artists that are doing this authentically, all the artists that are doing this, but they're not getting any motion. They feel like nobody's listening to them. I want to say I'm listening to you. I might just be just me and maybe some other people, but that's how it goes, like right. And with time, the results come. Nobody just comes out of nowhere. I think the hard work is piled up, and then one day somebody just shines a light on it. So I want to encourage everyone that is out there that's been an artist that is doing this, that they're feeling like maybe they want to give up, it's not working. As long as you're making good music, man, keep doing what you're doing. And I also want to give a big shout out to the producers, the DJs. You guys, nobody ever says any thank you to those guys because they're not artists. But a big shout out to the DJs, because without the DJ, man, I don't know what we'll do. Um, the DJs keep the party going. They keep the music flowing. And big shout out to the DJs. Big shout out to the producers. They're the ones that actually do the work, the groundwork for cooking the song. So shout out to the producers that are doing this, and shout out to everyone that is a lover of Afrobeats. Like, keep showing it love.
All right, that's well said. And shout out to the audience. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Well Actually podcast. Uh, please rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends, your family, and let them know, like, we're coming back next year with more stuff. We're also going to come back with the WAP at the movies, which is our black movie series that we're doing, where we're going through some of our favorites and just, giving a modern retelling of some of them. And of course, like, Ice gave us a lot of recommendations on amazing artists to check out. So those names will also be in the description as well, in case you're unsure of the spelling. I'll put that all down there for you as well, and his top 10 list as well. So all of that's there. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Of course, you can leave a comment on YouTube, Spotify, and of course, vote in our polls for your number one song of 2024. And we'll try and do this again more frequently in 2025. I'm trying not to promise, but I will attempt to do so. All right. Thank you, everyone. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's.